Extra time, we start with a question that has been asked many times of you, Stephen, but here we go again. Hey. What should be the realistic target of Liverpool for this season? Premier League or Champions League, or happy being in the top four?
They shouldn't be happy being in the top four. Everybody would love a trophy. Personally, I would sacrifice a trophy for, obviously, either winning the Premier League but pushing Manchester City all the way to the very last
What about if I was to offer you in this box fourth and a Champions League final?
Well, that's worse than this.
No.
No.
I'm going to say no. Right now, considering how long it's been since Liverpool won the league title or the Premier League since it started, personally, again, I'm more interested in winning a Premier League title than Champions League.
Raf, you're best friends with Jurgen Klopp. What do you think his priority is this season?
There is a priority. I think if you're a Liverpool coach, you have to try and win absolutely everything. And then at the end of the season, you think, did we do well enough? Should we have done better? Were we to blame? Were the other just simply too strong? I don't think you can just say, OK, this year we're just going to concentrate on the league and don't worry about the cups. Or this year we're just going to go for the FA Cup from January. Before that, we don't start playing. It doesn't really work like that. I think a pretty good idea where club stands is how the bookie rates them. Right now, Liverpool is seen as the second best team in the Premier League, so the ambition has to be...
One striker we haven't really talked about that we expected to be talking about a lot this summer is Robert Lewandowski. Is it assumed now that despite him wanting out, he's going to stay at Bayern?
Well, yes, I think that's the way it's going, simply because the big offer that could have perhaps got Bayern thinking never came. If it had come, it had to come really early in the transfer window, leaving them plenty of time to find another solution. Now we're almost in August, and it's basically inconceivable that they would just rip up the script and go for another striker and selling him. And the problem that he still has is that he's at a level where he can only go to 2 or 3 other clubs. Yep. And if those 2 or 3 other clubs are not interested for whatever reason, it's not going to happen. I think PSG is the move that was seen as most likely, but from his point of view, from the people that are trying to make the deal go through. But PSG have just said today, I think, in Thomas Tuchel, that Cavani is likely to stay. They've got this other guy there called Neymar. They've got Mbappe. Do they need Lewandowski up there? Not really. And Real Madrid, who's his dream club, have not made any move. And I think after the World Cup, it's difficult for them to say, you know what, after Ronaldo leaving, he is going to be our new Galactico. Politically very difficult. So I think he's staying.
Are you surprised, Stevie, quickly, that there have been no suitors for Lewandowski from those big names?
Not really. No, I think when you've got Gareth Bale at Real Madrid, the place that Lewandowski really wants to go, then you have to try that.
Right.
And PSG, it's not happening. Man United, you know, that means you're going to have to shove Lukaku on the wing. That's not happening. Doesn't really seem to be anywhere for him to go.
It's time to get your week started in the best possible way with myself and Paul Mariner here for the Transfer Rater. A lot of stories to get through to start us off on this week bonanza, Paul. Let's start off with the transfer development of Gonzalo Higuain to possibly AC Milan if they meet close to the €60 million valuation that Juve have on him.
Well, it looks as though it's going to be surplus to requirements now that Ronaldo's come in. That's a huge fee for someone of his age. Yeah, a proven goal scorer, don't get me wrong, but a man of his age, it just seems that this will work if they can come to some compromise with the fee. That's going to be the stumbling block. But I'm going to say that, yes, this will be a good move for both parties.
Understanding that talks are in progress on that one. Yerry Mina to Manchester United now. He was linked with a move to the Premier League. The World Cup sensation from Barcelona. Only spent 6 months there, but it's the big Colombian on his way to Old Trafford.
Well, it seems that way because is he going to be the heir apparent to Piqué with the feet that he's got? It seems as though Barca are not too happy with him. Look, as far as upstairs is concerned, he's an incredible threat. I mean, he will snuff things out and he'll score goals as we saw in the World Cup. Manchester United are at a bit of a squeeze point now. They're in for Maguire, but Leicester will just keep ratcheting the price. Exactly the same with Barcelona. Because they've left it so late, United, they're going to get squeezed, and they need somebody desperately. So I'm going to say get him in. I said it about Maguire. They need a central defender because, I mean, if you look at that back four, it's aging a little bit, and I don't think the central defenders are up to snuff for United. So I'm going to say yeah.
Okay. And he's following Manchester United now on Instagram, which is, of course, the telltale sign. Peter Crouch to Burnley, wanting to stay in the Premier League at 37 years of age, almost 100 Premier League goals.
Well, I mean, good luck to the lad. I mean, he's obviously still got tremendous enthusiasm for the game. We know what he brings to the table. You know, he can hold it up for you, you can get the flick-ons. Does it make sense, Ashley Barnes and Sam Vokes up top? He's going to be like a 15, 20-minute man. I mean, what was the fee? 500 grand? I mean, if Crouch is up for it, and if Sean Dyche, the Ginger Mourinho, if he wants him, then why not? I mean, give it a go. Stay in the Prem, because the Championship is a whole different animal. Having coached in that league is very difficult. Get yourself up there, Crouchy.
Certainly be useful, and he's always up for it. Here's Olivier Giroud, back to France maybe, now that Chelsea are under this renovation.
Well, Sarri's coming. We know that he likes to play 4-3-3. In his younger days, I would have said yes, that Giroud would sort of fit. But now it looks as though that Morata may stay. I think I always put Morata in front of Giroud because I think Morata got a bit of a rough deal last year because of his back injury. He wasn't 100% fit. So maybe he sees something in pre-season that he likes about Morata. There's no doubt that the front three, if it's Willian or Hazard or Morata, that's very, very dangerous. So I think it might be a good move for the lads. So again, it seems as though it's all coming together. I think Giroud will be fine.
Back to Marseille, who finished 4th last year in France. Drinkwater, as we continue the Chelsea theme, to leave Chelsea after Jorginho's arrival, perhaps?
Well, he came, everybody raised their eyebrows with the fee. What was it, 30-odd million?
35?
35 million quid. I mean, look, great lad, great in the dressing room, good trainer, fantastic in that system at Leicester, magnificent. But different animal at Chelsea. He was a bit part player, to say the least. Can he do a job for Chelsea? Yes, he can. Purely and simply in, you know, what we now would say the FA Cup and the League Cup, those sort of tournaments. But if somebody comes in, Southampton or Crystal Palace, come in with 30-odd million, I think he'd go. So this is a bit of an in-betweener for me. But most certainly, he's miles off getting into that midfield, isn't he, for Chelsea?
So more of a hit than a miss?
I'm going to say more of a hit than a miss, yeah.
Okay. And the triple part of our triple bonanza for Chelsea.
Again!
Christian Pulisic, now linked with Chelsea perhaps. Is he what Sarri is missing?
I think, look, it's very attractive to go to Chelsea. It's very attractive to go to Liverpool. We linked him with Liverpool last week. I just think that he's got to be careful to where he goes. This is a very important move. If he goes to Chelsea, what happens to players that generally go to Chelsea? They get sent out on loan again. Can he break into the side? Can he take Hazard's spot? Of course he can. Can he take William's spot? No. He's not going to play him through the middle. So his people that are looking after him have got to be very, very careful. This is an incredible move for Pulisic if he goes to the Premier League because the marketing side of the game, particularly in the USA, I mean, the club will make millions of dollars. For the players, looking at it purely and simply from the players' viewpoint, I'd stay at Dortmund for another year, but if I was going to go, I'd go to Liverpool because he knows Klopp. Klopp knows him. He'd be fantastic to come in and out for Mane and Salah. I think that would be a better move.
Because if Willian or Hazard go for big money, he's not going to be cheap, is he?
Well, no, but is he going to fill those shoes? And what was it, 47 games, 4 or 5 goals last season? That's not really enough, is it?
Right.
You know, when you're talking about Willian, the type of player that he is and the type of player that Hazard is. So
a better fit for the Northwest than Jurgen Klopp, perhaps?
I think so. I think
so. Right.
Yep, I think
well, if he moves, that will be a big story, of course, and more big stories coming your way on the Transfer Rita every single edition here at ESPN FC.
What are you hearing about the possibilities of United bringing, well, anyone in?
Well, they will definitely bring in one player. I think there's enough time to do that. But the fact that he keeps on labouring the point and being so political is not new for him. But I think the intensity and the repetition of this is something that's taken even some people at United aback a little bit. Suggests that he is not confident that too many of those people on the list will arrive. And I think that suggests a lack of trust, not so much between him and Ed Woodward, but also between the club and Jose, because you feel that the club are reluctant to sanction the kind of spending that we've seen in recent years without seeing necessarily a huge beneficial effect. Yes, United are improving. Yes, they keep doing better. Yes, they're more competitive than they were before Jose arrived, but they're still nowhere near being the United that Ferguson left, certainly not the United that we had 10 years ago fighting regularly for the Champions League. So I think there is a lack of trust that speaks beyond what is the actual transfer policy, but that goes a little bit deeper. And that, I think, is the worrying thing. And you could see that the factions, the rifts are out in the open, more or less. And that I think for United, that's a little bit troublesome. And you wonder if Mourinho is just going to rein himself in or continue, because he has done that in third and fourth seasons, and we saw usually what happened.
He doesn't seem like he's reining himself in at the moment, does he, Raf? We've seen Maguire and Mina, latest players to be linked, Maguire in particular. It's a lot of money, though, isn't it?
It's a lot of money for someone who I don't think looks that comfortable on the ball. Yes, he can play, but he's not a John Stones. OK, maybe you can say Jose Mourinho doesn't want his centre-backs to be quite as much on the ball. He wants to go to the full-backs very quickly. But I think in today's game, it's difficult when your guy with the ball doesn't really know how to build comfortably from the back. I think it reflects a little bit of panic. And let's not forget, I mean, United have been buying centre-backs every year since he's there, and they're still no closer to having a settled back four. And again, if you're Woodward, if you're Man United, you're thinking, is he just the latest Bailly? Is he just the latest Lindelof? I mean, is he really going to improve us that much? And I'm not sure he is necessarily the answer to having a more stable and formidable back four at United.
Steve, you know about defending?
You know, I'm kind of sitting here not thinking about what's going on the field. I'm thinking he could give Woodward 100 targets, and maybe none of them would want to go to Manchester United right now.
Really?
You know, well,
if you're Harry Maguire, you want to go to Manchester United, surely.
Yeah, but clearly, if you're that good, right, you're not just going to have one option. You know, are Man United going to be the only team that you can sign? If you're that good, do you go to a place where there seems to be turmoil? There seems to be problems with the manager and the players. You've got a manager who never seems to smile. I mean, do you really want to go to Manchester United right now? I mean, because every single thing, as experienced, as clever as Mourinho is, he's supposed to be great at mind games. I'll tell you what, he is turning every person in football off, number one of himself, but Manchester United.
But it's still Manchester United.
It's still Manchester United.
It's still one of the biggest clubs.
You've got a choice, Dan. Where are you going? Do you go to Liverpool, or do you go to City, or do you go to Man United? If you're that good and you've got a choice of those three, guess who's at the bottom of the list?
Oh, you wouldn't say... Seriously?
Right now.
Really?
Right now.
You would think people would prefer to go to Liverpool than United?
City, I tell you what, there are two teams on the up. It's Liverpool and City. What are United doing right now? They're in no man's land.
There's got to be something behind it, because, as we've all just said, this is Manchester United. This is the biggest club in the world. And how they cannot get the likes of Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire had a decent World Cup. He was decent at Leicester. But he's not like the must-have central defender. Yes, I agree with Ralph. They have got to strengthen that position. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes with the board and with Mourinho, because they're listening to everything that we're listening to. And is it the way that he plays his football? Is it the way that he's gone about his business that they are not able to get, you know, decent signings over the line? I'm not saying that Jeremy is going to knock it out of the park. He's decent, but not great with his feet. But the thing is, there's something going on that we're not privy to, because this is Man U.
I'm very happy and proud to be here. We will leave on Wednesday a different event, because we come in America and play only for ECC against other clubs, and now we live a fantastic event, a fantastic experience like the All-Star game. It's a new thing. I'm curious and also proud to be here, because Juventus is growing up year by year. MLS, I think, is the same for popularity in America and also all over the world. And also I'm curious to see this fantastic stadium I see only in the picture.
One of your teammates said everybody wants to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously not here yet. What was your first reaction when you heard he was joining Juve?
The first time I said to my friends, nah, it's impossible. But I think, and 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then after one day, maybe it's possible. I'm talking with our manager, with our director, and it's the reality. Juventus, as I said before, growing year by year, and now we need a champion like Cristiano, and we are exciting, and we are ready to work with him. All the parts of the club, the players, the marketing, the manager, the director are ready to improve with Cristiano, and we hope he can help us to join our target.
What is that target?
The target, you know what is our target. It's not only one player can win the champions, continue to win our Serie A, but surely I think Cristiano can take from us our experience and also our enthusiasm to arrive to our dream, our target.
With Ronaldo's arrival, is there now an obligation for Juventus to win Champions League?
No, it's impossible have an obligation to win the Champions League, because every year the 4 or 5 most important clubs have to win the Champions League, and only one finally win. Then we have to arrive every year, semi-final, quarter-final, semi-final, final. At the end, also arrive our moment, and we are really closer. I hope Cristiano help us to arrive until the end. It's our motto. I don't know in English, but until the end, we have to arrive.
The president, sporting director of AC Milan, has come out and said that Leonardo Bonucci has asked to come back to Juventus. What was your reaction to that news?
Leonardo for me is a friend. I pass my holiday with him and our family. Then I know about his volunteer, but I don't know. It's not easy, and I don't want to. I want to have respect to my teammates. I'm a player. I'm not a president or a director. Then we will see what the club decide to do, and at the end of the Serie A, we will see if Leonardo is here or in another club.
You've got an old friend who's now on your team. Played with you at Real Madrid. This is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Cristiano's now at Juventus. This has to surely improve your chances at the Champions League.
I hope so. This is what we expect from Cristiano, but he's not winning the Champions League by his own, so he needs a really good team like he did with Real Madrid. But we know that we have a really strong team, and in the last 4 years, Juventus went 2 times to the Champions League final. So there was missing like something, but maybe it's the goals or the spirit of Cristiano. So we hope that he can help us to reach the big goal.
Yeah. And this is great for Italian football to have him, because a lot of people are now talking about Juventus and talking about the Serie A that may have not have been doing as well. So what do you think that brings to your team from a global perspective?
I think for the Italian football it's great, because I arrived 3 years ago, and every year the Serie A is improving, also the Italian football. So now also the focus on the Italian football is getting stronger because of Cristiano. So I think it can help a lot of the Italian football, and also about them missing the World Cup, of the Italian football. Yeah. So I think